Do the big one.
The big one? All right. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome, everybody, to Whatever It Takes podcast. I am, of course, Rita Boom. And with me tonight is Missy Period and Miss Anonymous with a special guest with Miss Anonymous. Hi, guys.
Hello.
For having you here. Oh, shit. Clementine. That's right. I'll get that out. I'll take that out. That's right. Clementine.
Yeah. Hi, nice to be here.
So, Miss Anonymous, tell us about your friend. You're sharing the screen with somebody.
Well, this is Miss Anonymous's daughter, and she's my ride or die. And she'd been through the whole gambling thing with me, so we kind of just wanted to pick her brain and see, what she thought and felt through the whole thing. She's a normie; she's not a gambler. And so, where you're moving to, there's a lot of casinos here.
Yeah.
I
get the appeal.
Yeah, I mean, it's all okay until...
Yeah, now I can't go with you, and so, what's the fun?
Exactly, right? Yeah. So, y'all can just ask her some questions, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, very okay. Yeah, go ahead, and see you first.
So, Clementine, when all of this debacle was going on, did you, I know you didn't know what exactly was going on at the time, but did you see a change in your mom?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends on which part of the debacle you're speaking of, but I think when she was gambling and I didn't know the extent of it, there was a change there from what I remember, but I thought it had to do with other stuff. I wasn't gonna guess the gambling, and when that came out, it was a huge shock.
Yeah, because it was during the time that I was taking care of
mom. I feel like there was I don't know, lots of stuff. I knew she was playing that game on her phone. My childhood best friend showed it to her. And we were like, oh, and I remember playing it too. And I was like, I'm bad at this. And she was helping me pay a bill, the brokest I'd ever been. And so she was helping me with an electric bill. And so I was thankful, and it sounded like she was winning. I don't know what I thought. I kind of tend to not block stuff out, but I guess I'm naive.
No, it seems natural. It's just I
don't know.
Well, it's not anything that ever happened before.
Right.
Every other time it was a trip to Vegas and came back and was fine. This was a bad time in my life and hers.
Yeah, and you were at home, and
it all went to shit.
And you have to keep in mind, I'm 8 hours away from her. I'm not spending a lot of time with her.
So it was a snowball effect, basically. She had a lot of heavy stuff going on in her life, so there was no clear sign that that's what she was doing, because she had never. It wasn't a problem previously.
No.
So to piggyback off of that question, your friend that showed her this app, or showed both of you guys this app, obviously it was done innocently. Do you still talk to this person? Do you hold any resentments towards them?
No. I mean, this girl that I'm speaking of has been my childhood best friend. She's a crazy one, and there could be a lot of resentment for all kinds of shit that her and I have been through throughout the last 2 decades. But I know her intentions, and they weren't.
No,
evil,
and actually she felt really bad when she found out, and she was like, she didn't want to come over, and she didn't want to talk to me because she felt real bad. And I was like, girl, it wasn't you.
You would have found it in some way. It would have landed in
I don't know if I ever would, but it wasn't her fault.
No.
You didn't have a gun.
You were playing it without winning money. You were playing some other little kind of bejeweled little thing. And she was like, you can put money on that.
Yeah.
Y'all were playing the same game, but you weren't doing it with money.
Right.
That's what you said.
Well,
and she was like, why are you doing it for free? Or whatever,
What's fun in that?
You need to do this. She was just like, why are you doing it like that?
Yeah.
I think it's great that it didn't, have any lasting effects on your relationship there.
No, she's one of those kids that's just always going to be in our family. It never crossed my mind to blame her for anything. It was all my fault.
Yeah.
And again, it would have came if it's an addiction that's supposed to find its way to you. It's going to find its way to you either way, somehow, or that's just
eventually.
Yep.
Boom. Do you have a question? Because if not, I got another one.
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm writing mine down so I won't forget them. So you keep rolling with them, girl.
So Rita is our friend. That's crazy as hell. Like your friend is your childhood friend. Rita is ours.
I don't see it.
So, your mom sent her a box of red flags because she doesn't see them.
She can't see red flags, so I said,
Me neither, girl.
look at you, Bob.
Now I'm like, if I like this person, I should be wary.
Rita, adopt that mentality. So, moving forward, when everything came to a head and your mom, she came clean with everyone and admitted what she did, she has told us and spoke so highly of you because you were one of not even a handful of people that stood beside her and stuck up for her. And so my question is, the relationships that were severed when this happened to your mom, have you, made up any of those relationships? Are you, has it gotten better there?
So like they were severed with me too because I picked her side, and only one has come back around, and that's your sister, the younger one. Can I say her name? I don't know.
No.
Okay. So younger sister. And that's because like, I don't know. You kind of, she came back around to you.
She was helpful.
But everybody else, but you know what? And I told Mama this, like, I was like, these people have always been shitty. Like, let's get rid of them. I was going to cut it first. I was going to cut the string first because they were shitty to me when I was younger for smoking weed and blame my dad for stuff like that when it was just like normal stuff. I don't even smoke weed anymore. Like I don't do drugs, and it was just like normal stuff. But they like, as a child, like I felt they had already cut me off.
Well,
they're cutter offers, and I'm like, they're just bad energy. They don't know anything about me, and they thought I was like a bad kid, and that was it.
Yeah.
So this was like the final straw.
Yeah.
Your mom is your ride or die, and you're like, you don't want her, you don't get me either.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's fantastic.
I remember once on Facebook, she put on there, if my mom can't sit at your table, I'm not either.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I was like, yeah.
I mean, I think it's great.
I mean, she has several cousins, that.
Yeah. I mean, not only did they cut you off, they can do whatever they want. It's like their prerogative, but
that's fine.
I was kind of like, oh, we can stop like going to fucking
yes.
people. Like, yeah,
with these fuckers.
Honestly, like that's my honest answer. I was like kind of excited. The cat. Okay, I was kind of excited, not excited, but like this is obviously awful. But I was like, okay, yeah, I can absolutely do away with these people.
When I was going, me and your dad were going to Costa Rica, and my friend was staying at my house, and she put on Facebook, just as hey, I'm at Miss Anonymous's house, blah blah blah.
I got you.
And one of my nieces put, staying at Miss Anonymous's house, y'all don't try to rob her. And so one of my nieces put on there, oh, that's rich. Like somebody's going to rob her now. And I was devastated.
Oh, that's not nice.
I mean, I think
it was so unnecessary.
It was, and it was terrible. And I could not get over it. I cried all the way to Costa Rica and still there. And I mean, to the point where, my husband was like, all right, you got to get over this. But I couldn't because it was just there was just so many mean comments that were direct. I was called a narcissist so many times, still am.
Well, and they would do whenever that group chat went down, when I think you tried to apologize, a few months later, you were like, it's okay that y'all hate me, but this is my apology or something. Like you got haha reacted and stuff. And it's just so petty. Like if it's okay if these people don't want anything to do with you or whatever, they think that they would go to hell or something, whatever they think if they continue the relationship.
Let's just clarify.
But for them to be just
not
petty.
one thing was done to them.
That's what I was going to say. Here's the biggest thing. The money, okay, was returned. The money came from one source. It didn't even come from, it came from from mom and dad. Like, I mean, that's it. And they forgave you. They forgave you.
I mean,
so why is who these people are to think that they can still pass judgment on you? Like they're right up there with God and His judgment. It blows me away.
These are like Christian people who, aren't
Shame on them.
Forgiveness.
Shame on them.
Well, I remember once one of my nieces told me, I was like, those without sin cast the first stone. And she goes, your sin is way worse than ours.
No, says who? Says who? Says who?
Says her.
And we don't know what goes on in their closets. Okay, that's just what we know about.
I do know what goes on in their closets, and I don't care.
Right? It's because you know what? It's your side of the street. It's your. I don't. It's. Yeah, well, you're talking good about me, bad about me. At least you're talking about me. But you know what? At least get it right. And keeps narrative to a fair dialogue, because
not only this, it was just an opportunity.
It's not like you murdered your parents for the money.
This was an opportunity for people who really didn't like me anyway to be like, oh, now this is why.
Like tear down. Now's our chance, like wolves,
a former friend that I had, a former ex-husband that I had, like they're all like big buddies now, and it's just plotting against me and whatever.
It's only a matter of time. As soon as it becomes legal in that state,
sad but true.
Be careful how you judge people, because you never know when it's going to come knocking on your door. Everybody's capable of anything, and what I've done, everybody who I've harmed is capable of doing it too, whether they think so or not. It's
I mean, I still believe that I was having a nervous breakdown involved in that whole thing too.
I'm so sorry you were treated so rude, so poorly.
Yeah, it was a kick in the ass, because my whole life I tried to stay around the area where Clementine could be close to her cousins and her grandparents and her aunts and uncles and all of that. Why? No reason for it. But anyway, who cares about them? I don't.
Clementine, do you feel like your mom and you have a closer relationship since, I mean, really it was the two of you and, your dad. And so.
Yeah, I think closer, but also I feel like that's just easier to do the older I grow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I'm sure this is like pushed us closer, maybe. But
well, she always tells me that we were in a past life together, and she was the mother.
Listen, that's how it happens.
Yes,
people you're connected to.
Yeah,
every lifetime.
Or sisters.
We probably were sisters.
And I was,
I don't like being the older one. I don't like
being the responsible one. Or Clementine.
Yeah.
I'll get these. I'll catch these. So I'm telling you, I'm going to
get better.
Has it made you more aware of gambling, Clementine?
Yeah, I mean, just from what she's told me, and but it's funny because I know that it's common, but like I guess my friends and the delinquents that I hang out with, it's none of them.
I
don't have any friends. I don't know anybody else with a gambling addiction.
Well, a lot of us don't.
So
where we live, because number one, it's not legal here. Number two, they ain't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I go to their states, and it's everywhere, and they know a lot of people that have it. Or the few friends that I have told about it go, "Oh yeah, my uncle or this or that or something." It's just it's such a secret, that nobody talks about it. But I really have to look back and go, all right, it happened. I'm turning it around. I'm going to use it and make my life better, go through the 12 steps, figure it out. And that's really what I've tried to do so much, really to reach out to other people. And I do understand what they're talking about, because there's so much of it. And I do tell, like, my husband and daughter, like, stories that we hear, we hear a lot. We hear.
And I think it's crazy that there's a lot of college kids.
Well, now it's
Oh, it's
young
insane.
kids that
Younger
play
than that.
Why?
because they buy the cards at Walmart, and they're just jonesing for them when the money runs off the cards.
Oh my
A
god.
lot of the same triggers that they use in like jackpots and that for slot machines, they use in these games for the Roblox. And it's
Yeah, sorry.
no, that's okay.
Think
And
about
it's
like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff.
right, exactly.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, good.
When you go to the movie theaters, they play the popcorn dancing around the screen, and you kind of can smell that butter in the air, and it's all, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're like, hey, go get me a small popcorn,
Yeah.
don't forget the butter. But it's so they're doing the same exact thing, just a lot slicker and with a lot more of a bigger budget than Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sad situation. And if this is the way I had to look at it and see it and find my spot in the world where I can really make a difference, I mean, but I had to learn it. I mean, I think I had to go through it and feel it so that I can talk to other people
Yeah.
about it.
Mhm.
I think that's why I was accepting of you, because I've dealt with lots of friends with addictions. I've had many best friends with like heroin addictions and stuff like that. And I'm lucky that I've didn't ever get addicted to anything,
Oh, thank God.
But I've had many of people who I love do that. And it's like, you were not the first that I've been through with that,
Maybe that's why, but I don't know. But she stuck by my
But same
side.
thing, like I feel like I understood it more than anybody else
Yeah,
would.
because there really wasn't any addictions in our family that we know of, so
I'm sure there's some. They're just closet.
I think so too.
So what? Fucking May, a motherfucker. Okay, Clementine. Hey, Clementine. Thank you, Misty. Period. Shit. Okay, this one's gonna be a little bit heavy.
Okay.
Right? How'd you feel about your brother and the way that he felt the total opposite of you, and like what he put your mom through?
Typical. I mean, he's a Scorpio and he's stubborn and he's been like that forever, and he's kind of,
Well, I've got to say one thing though.
But then last year when he did that about Daddy, that was insane.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I give him grace because he lost his grandmother, who was very, very close to him. He was the first grandchild, and then a month later, he lost his other grandmother. So although I don't know why, I don't know what's in his head.
Everybody deals with things differently, and that's the way that he dealt with it is okay. I want to clarify that.
Yes.
But I was not surprised that it was completely opposite of the way that I dealt with it, because him and I are opposites.
I would also like to say I never got a chance to tell him. One of my sisters did. So he didn't hear it from me.
Okay.
What I wanted to do, and I had the promise that I could do it, but it didn't come out to light that way.
Respect for you for the way that you, I'm sorry, Clementine. Clementine, I have so much respect for you and the way that you treated your mother during that. You know what I mean?
Well, I just wasn't gonna watch her, spin the drain.
You could have, and I mean,
a lot of people did.
A lot of people did.
A lot of people did.
You feel like your brother bully you into treating, mean, even, you're like the only person who didn't get mad at her,
Yeah.
And
like we said, I think he's entitled to whatever emotions he had. I completely validate them. I'm sure it was embarrassing to be my kid, and especially in.
That's only because people talked about it, and that's their fault for talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, at this point, it was the trifecta for him? He lost two people that he was extremely close to, and then all of this comes out, and all four of us know you hurt the ones you love.
Absolutely.
And so he just lashed out. That was his way of coping with everything he had going on.
Yeah, and I get that. I just, having just lost my mom, I knew how life could take any of us at any point, and who wants to die with being mad at somebody or hating somebody, and I couldn't I really needed his support, but it's not, that's in the past, and I can't go backwards because I don't know what he felt because I never heard it.
And I mean, for the people who are watching, is that relationship has been patched though, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's recent. Thank God. I mean, thank God he's back. And I always prayed for him just to have a tender heart towards me. That I would, either one of my kids could ever do that, I would just like, okay, well, I'll see you when I see you. Never.
But and I think even our viewers know that. I mean, your love for your kids, you speak volumes of that. If I know the one thing that you're proud of the most in life is your children, is your 2 children.
Yeah.
Clementine, I want to say I have 3 adult daughters, and they stuck by me. My oldest daughter had a really hard time. She had a really hard time. We had some really hard conversations. But I think that meant the entire world to me. If everybody else was against me, knowing that I had my kids' support, they forgave me. And I know I cannot speak for your mother, but I'm going to say more than likely, we're still trying to make up for it. Even though, you accepted our apologies, we still try to make up for it and just do the next right thing.
Yeah.
When you're in the depths of the gambling addiction and you cannot think, you cannot reason, you don't choose to hurt the people and to break the trust. But then when you finally drug out of it and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? There's nothing you can ever do to make up for it except to move forward and help other people, really, and to show them that you can, and that I could change and I could find some character defects and change them and make myself into a different person.
Clementine, I wish, we all wear different hats. Your mom is a mother and she's good at her job. She's a wife. I wish you could see her in GA. I can speak personally. Your mom saved my life. She really did. Oh my God. Like, your mom is amazing and she's helped a lot of people. And, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be in this chair right now. I had a really, really tough go of it. And your mother, she was in the hospital having surgery for a gallbladder. And she never thought twice. Like, it didn't matter how much pain she was in. She wanted to make sure I was okay. And, she's one of my very best friends. And, I wish you could see her. She's amazing. So many people look up to her. So many people have gotten recovery from her.
That's amazing. And I'll remind y'all if y'all don't remember, maybe I can't remember who was around, but last summer, this is deep and real, but GA was starting to piss me off because I would hear this from people and I went to one of your, I think it was
it was my 2 year.
2 years something. And it was good to hear this, of course, but the way that I dealt with everything that happened was more internal. I feel like I was there for my mom, but not there for myself. And so my own,
you recognize that
my own life went downhill because of it. And I felt unchecked on,
Yeah.
because this took up so much of her time, which is okay. You know what I mean? It's
no, it's really
all of a sudden I had to share
I know, but
has that changed since then? Have your feelings changed?
Yeah, I mean, and my feelings have changed. I think the most thing was, for some reason, I thought that Daddy was feeling the same way. And that made me mad. I was like, okay, if you can't hang out with your husband and you're spending all your time, the one who saved your ass, you're pissing me off now. But then he corrected me and he's like, no, he's like, this is okay, And so I think that made me feel a lot better about it.
You can tell it helps her.
And I don't know why else I
think that really.
And then I told you to stop ignoring my calls, and you haven't done
what do, y'all, when she calls?
I figured.
Answer.
I gotta go.
Hang up and
everybody knows if Clementine calls, I'm out.
Yeah.
That is my hard and fast rule. But when you get into this and you kind of have to dive in so far.
You have to adjust.
I had to find a balance.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yep.
And I know, Missy, you've had some problems with it. We all kind of do,
We're
because
compulsive, so we obsess over our new obsession, which is
I
discovery.
worry about
You know,
it.
and-
Sometimes I thought, here I am talking to this person when I knew that she needed me. So when she got mad at me, I was like, she's right. But
And you should not beat yourself up for that, Clementine.
no.
Not at all. Because, your mom was learning balance and you're trying to be supportive, but you're like, hey,
Yeah, well, it's like
I want some attention too.
it's not that I want attention. It's like there's just like so much going on that she didn't know about, which was probably very similar to like people's lives that she was talking to.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but what you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm not that different than you guys.
Well, but when someone has your undivided attention and things change, you're like, what the fuck, man?
Plus, that's your mama. That's your mama.
And she, like she said, when that phone rings and it says Clementine, she's like, it's Clementine. I got to go every single time. Which is, so I think it maybe just took finding that balance,
Yeah.
And next time you guys, now, like you don't have to, you can approach it differently. You can say, hey, I'm feeling this sorts of way, and vice versa. Like,
Did we get a password on that? Sometimes
yeah, like a safe word.
I don't know. I just remember finally I told you.
Yeah, she did fine. And sometimes I got to be hit right in the face, but I know that I have to balance it all out. I get that, and I try to tell my sponsees and stuff, because you're so involved in it at first, because you're learning everything and getting over all of the crap that you've done and trying to deal with just life. And sometimes I have to be reeled back in. I'm still human.
And I think this, when I came into GA, I was like, oh my God, I finally met people who understood Misty. And that's not saying that my family doesn't, or, that my friends didn't, but all the lies and I could tell you guys everything and you didn't say, oh my God, what a total piece of shit. I was accepted. And I felt like when I first came in, I needed that. And I needed to be able to talk to someone. I felt like, it's so selfish, and it is a needy program, because I knew I could either place the bet or I could attend 6 meetings a day. And I knew what placing the bet was going to do for my life again. So I had to attend 6 meetings a day, but now that I am in further, I can say, hey guys, I'm not going to make it tonight. I've got this and this going on. Clementine, did you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say, like, the extra stuff, like the nonprofit, the trademark, the podcast, merch, all that stuff. It's still really, life is just starting to balance itself out.
Well,
we got to get Clementine a t-shirt.
I got one. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yay. Yay. So, my final question for you is,
I had no hand in making those.
Nothing. She caught shit on fire. That was her hand in it.
It was amazing.
Can you see a difference in your mama's personality just from before GA, after GA, like going through the steps? And have you seen a change in her?
Yeah, it was like immediately when she joined it, I think. And I remember trying to tell my brother that, like, whenever he wasn't around, I was like, you're missing like the mom you always wanted. So
yeah.
Well, when you fall on your face and you're humbled,
yeah, that's what she needed.
that is the best thing that happened to me. And I'm sorry that people went down with me. I'm so sorry about that. I truly am. But I believe that, to find the serenity right at the apex, you have to be humbled through all of this. And I don't help people so I can say I help people, because I do not want an ego. I help people so that they can go and help people and they can go and help people. That's it. That's where we trust God, clean house, and, clean up our lives and carry the message to the next person, because there's so many people out there.
I'm sorry. This just blows my freaking mind. I learned something tonight that I didn't know about piecing it together, that you had a group chat where you were vulnerable enough to put yourself out there and apologize to these people, and they crucified you in it. And it wasn't even their money. I mean, they had no business even knowing about it.
No.
I mean, no wonder you came to, I mean, your mom did something for me, and sort of Misty period, and a couple other young, awesome ladies that I know, when I was being slandered, on social media. And, it was like, no wonder, because you knew exactly what it was like. You knew exactly what it was like. My God, that's horrible, dude.
I do know what it's like.
Shame on these people,
I
man.
had it
Shame
happen
on them.
not a month ago of another
God's wrath is worse than ours.
Well, that's true, but I get it a lot more from people who don't want to see me do good at all. And so I have people on social media that will just talk bad about me, and because I think I'm this or that. Listen, I don't think I'm anything except somebody trying to help somebody else out. That's it. I have no ulterior motive, and
their sin is worse than ours. I mean,
yeah.
When did God pass the torch to them? I mean, shame on them. Shame on them. Don't they? It's like, don't these people? Sometimes you wonder, do people hear the words that are coming out of their mouths? Because we've all heard some really crazy shit.
Well, I hope to God they're not humbled like I was.
I hope not either. I mean, I don't wish what we've been through on anybody.
What happened? I don't want anybody else to feel that way. Just like I left the house for a whole year. And when I did, I wore sunglasses and took the back roads or this or that. I didn't want anybody to see me. I didn't know what was being said. And I don't know that anything was, but that was my self-worth, was about that much.
You didn't have a whole lot of people trying to pick you up. I mean, the one beside you.
Yeah.
She's all needed, really.
Strong back.
Was her and, my husband, and that's exactly what I got. So,
yeah. On a completely different note, Clementine, are you excited about this big opportunity that you've got coming? And the big move.
I was thinking to myself, like, on the drive here, like, if my life was chapters, there's a shit ton, but also if they were broken down into smaller ones, this is like the third chapter. Like, I feel like Austin was like the second chapter after, you know what I mean?
I think
and so it's going to be completely different. I love change, honestly.
And she gets to go to another town and she doesn't know anybody, and
that's awesome.
She gets to be kind of reinvent yourself. That's what I want to do.
Listen, there's a light at the end of that tunnel. You've been doing a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's amazing. And you guys are it's a girls' week, and we're house shopping this week. You got a good partner for that.
I know.
I think this lady knows a thing or two about.
I know a thing or two. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No research department whatsoever.
No research department whatsoever. Son of a fun life.
So, I mean, I do think that you're more susceptible to addictions. Now that I have an addiction.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's so crazy. So since we're talking on this podcast, I wrote into my favorite podcast about all of this, and they are like, it's a huge podcast. They're New York female comedians. And they have like a bonus episode where it's just emails. And they read mine, and I've literally only listened to it one time. The first time, I can't listen to it again because it's like too.
I've never heard it.
But the one thing that they're both very smart. One of the girls is running for mayor of New York City right now. Like, she's legit.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's so cool.
She's so cool. And her advice was, she was like, you need to be careful, because if this has shown light and your mom has a gambling addiction, like you need to watch out. And so I think about that often. Not that I would get like a gambling addiction, but just, whatever.
You never know.
Anything. Yeah. Well, I think any addiction starts very innocently.
I do too. Mine sure did. But what was the podcast about that you wrote the letter for? What was the letter about? Just saying
everything. I think it was before like the pavilion thing happened. So that wasn't included, but it was like in the midst of all of it. I wrote into them and was like, this is what happened. This is what's going on with me. This is how I feel. And I just remember like some of their advice, but it's weird. Like I listened to it one time and that was it. Like I've not re-listened to it because like too
oh my God,
much.
These podcasts play through my house like on like surround sound.
Yeah.
I feel like I put it through too much.
Well, it was crazy, and I don't know, like whatever. I hope
but look at her. I mean, she's super confident, moving to a brand new city, taking on a brand new adventure. And, so yeah, she probably did grow up, a little tougher in that sense.
I think you really
But man, look at her go. It's phenomenal,
And this is like another thing, like, okay, I'm sure they know about the pavilion. Like I had been there twice before she went. So
okay.
It was more so, I've grown up from that and stuff, but it's like, this didn't make me grow up. It was kind of not a relief or something, but it's like when you got humbled in that way, you understood me more.
So much.
You understood me more.
Yes.
And I was thankful for that because it was always like, what's wrong with, like, I felt like something was wrong with me. And there was kind of, but like,
right.
For the one person that I needed to understand what was wrong with me finally did because she experienced it, which was being like suicidal and stuff.
Right.
Was beneficial.
Well, you were affected by it, and it just you were pushing it down, and then eventually it was like it wanted to come up. It's I read something today. It was like if you're mad about something or if something bothers you, only keep it in for only let it bother you for 12 hours, and if it lasts longer than that, don't let it keep it in for more than 48. I mean, like let it out.
Yeah, I think always you should tell me if you're mad, because I won't know, will I, y'all?
No,
because a lot
oblivious.
of times, yes.
I'm not.
Well, I mean, just like if you're, got a problem with something or, like, I mean, sometimes I don't listen very well.
No. Not at all.
I also think that,
but she's good at learning phrases. Like you can tell her like, hey, if you get asked about this is the response you get.
I'm a parrot.
Right.
She doesn't know what she's talking about, but she can repeat something.
That's exactly right. And she had a sign that she made one night. It summed it all up. It said,
do not take my advice.
And I put it right here over the camera. Do not take my advice.
Do not take my advice. Yes. Yep. No. And you're right. The parrot thing, you're very good at learning the phrases because I mean, you have to catch it. You have to catch it beforehand because if not, then it's just a fucking mess. Like, I mean, I've been at ground zero and she's like pulled the grenade and threw it into the pit where I was standing. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, why are we sacrificing Rita?
I got the grenade out as fast as I could when I realized.
That's when we learned the phrases. We're like,
funny.
Yeah. They've been really good for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But what the question I was going to ask?
Huh? Yeah.
No, I don't. I'll remember as soon as we sign off. I was writing the notes down. I don't know. It's out of my head. It's totally gone. So how? Okay, I got a question for you. I do appreciate how supportive of you are. Your mom, great mother-daughter relationship. I'm envious. I think it's beautiful. But how come you haven't seen the podcast?
I don't know.
I have sent it to you. Told you the name of it. Done everything, but
the only one that you sent me is that one with that other girl.
Well, all you gotta do is watch one and keep
Not,
watching.
it wasn't them. It was
No, the other
no.
one you did.
No.
That's the only one you've ever sent me.
Liar.
No, she's.
too.
Am I lying or is she cognitively declining?
See, that's what she goes to every time. When
That's what
she's
it is.
wrong, I'm crazy. I'm losing my mind. It's a new thing she's starting.
Because it's.
No, I
older.
feel you. I get the
It's
same
new
thing.
because it's recent.
Well, you know what? I'm getting old.
Yeah, I know. And
I'm
so
not much longer on this earth, so be a little nicer.
it's not.
So-
I'm not. I'm just saying you're forgetful. That's not being mean. That's the truth.
Oh, yes, it's the truth.
You're forgetful, and
There are so many reasons for me to go to the doctor right now.
your filter sometimes like malfunctions. Like again,
Okay, no.
what?
No.
Filter?
We're gonna listen to Clementine say her mom's old and going crazy. We're not jumping in on that.
I didn't say old and crazy. I'm just saying she
You want to hear
malfunctions.
about crazy? Okay, one time the three of us were having a spat. Actually,
Oh, this
it's
is so cool.
Misty against Boom.
I can't imagine what we're about to
And-
talk about.
Boom was at this girl's house and she took a picture.
Right.
And then we got the picture and Misty saw, she goes, "Oh my God, did you see that picture?" And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Look, y'all got to get the picture out. Look at the top right-hand corner. And there's Rita's boob.
Why?
Because she's just walking around naked.
I think they helped me. Right? Tell them which one.
Well, we died laughing. It was so funny. And so I said, "Rita, we've got to call a truce on the disagreement because we've got something so funny to laugh at," didn't
And I was like,
And
okay.
we were like, "All right," because Misty kept going, "Oh, she's going to be mad." I was like, "Oh, she'll get over it." She
Yeah,
can-
I'm mad for 5 minutes.
I know.
I wish you could have seen your mom's face when she noticed the boob in the
funny. I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, it was a good one."
Oh,
I'll have to show it to her later.
I just sent it to you.
Okay.
It's like Where's Waldo in the picture.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She wants it to go viral.
Yeah,
That was
Did you
easy.
see it?
Yes.
Well,
Why? Why?
they're real too.
Picture's a little off. I was looking at the clothes and that, and then I saw that. I went,
That's funny.
"Oh my God, it was
But
hilarious."
you were like taking pictures to sell clothes or something. What?
Oh, I know what I was going to ask.
Or what?
I knew what I was going to ask you. Remember when I said I forgot something?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you to. I need to know the truth behind this. Okay. I need to know the truth.
Oh, God. I'm
Wolfie.
scared.
Wolfie. That was because of a gambling bet, right?
Wait, what? Don't whisper to me. What?
Wolfie's he's the result of a gambling bet, correct?
The dog?
Yeah, the one with cancer in its mouth, the one that your mom like
The result of that? No, he was there first. What do you mean?
She doesn't like Wolfie. She makes fun of him.
Why?
He's mean like that.
No, he picked on my boy. He picked on my Leroy when we were staying there for a couple days.
Oh.
He did.
He did. He was so mean to him. He was so
There
mean.
you go. It's his house.
Massacre. And just randomly grabbed one, and you grabbed the only one with cancer in its
The
mouth.
only one. That's
Yeah, it was supposed to happen that way. She was
Cancer that
saving
doesn't kill
Wolfie.
you, apparently. I mean, he's had it forever.
7.
Cancer that doesn't kill you, so whatever.
That's right. You know, that breath will kill you. That'll kill
Oh,
you.
yeah. That's bad.
I think we can all agree on that.
He's a good boy. He's a good dog.
They're making fun of my dog.
I'm just gonna stop there.
Is he in here?
I'm just gonna stop there.
That's the whole
Oh
point.
my God, they're so good.
What's that? What are they?
Animal cracker drinks.
And the frosted animal cracker
I
with
picked that up last night when you told me about that. That
liqueur and
delicious.
vanilla. Yeah.
That sounds
Oh, that
delicious.
sounds
We're done?
Well, there's
Yeah.
just one thing we have to ask you.
What?
Well, I don't know. What's the question?
Well, Misty, period. To stay in recovery, what do you have to do?
Well, Misty Period has to do whatever it takes. What about you, Miss Anonymous?
I'm going to do whatever it takes. What about you, Clementine?
I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Hey guys, Rita Boom here. Whether this is your first time listening or you keep coming back, I'm one of the awesome hosts and co-founders of Whatever It Takes nonprofit foundation and, of course, podcast. We started our show on YouTube, and even though we are now part of the podcast elite, we still recommend putting faces to the voices. So go to our YouTube channel and check it out. You can find us at Whatever It Takes Podcasts. So you go to YouTube, you go in the search bar, and you put at Whatever It Takes Podcasts. One more time, just because I talk really fast. Go to YouTube, go in the search bar, and put in Whatever It Takes Podcast. At Whatever It Takes Podcast. And, well, since you're going to be stopping by anyway, don't stop by empty-handed. Show us you were there by sending us a like, a comment, sharing it to your friends, or, well, this should be a given, hitting the subscribe button. So that way you don't miss any episodes. Either way, we're just glad you're here. So thank you. And as always, boom, boom, boom. What's up, guys? It's Rita Boom here, just telling you, if you enjoyed this podcast, get on there and leave some comments, all right? Whether you liked it, you didn't like it, if it's good enough of a comment, we're going to read it online. Know why? Because it helps our algorithm. That way we don't have to charge anybody anything crazy like that. So, again, leave the comments, we'll read them online, and boom, boom, boom! Don't place a bet today, okay? All right.